Okay, so we're going to subtract fractions with different denominators. I like to write mine vertically. And now we have to get a common denominator. By the way, which is bigger, the third of the pie or the half of the pie? Gabe? It says off. Which is bigger, a third of a pie or half of a pie? Half is bigger. So I'm going to have to borrow to do this. You'll have to do it again. Sometimes it does that. My phone does that too. But we have time here. So now when I add, I say go ahead and add. But you know what? I can't do that now because I'm going to subtract. And if I go ahead and subtract the whole numbers right away, I might not be able to borrow. Well, what do 2 and 3 both divide into? When in doubt, multiply them together. So what do they go into 6, right? So 2 times what is 6? This is what you have to be able to do on the quiz. Just convert these over. I mean, you can use a fraction calculator. You can figure out how to do it. So 2 times what is 6? 3. So then you go 1 times 3. Okay? And this is also going to be a 6. I'm going to change colors because it's too squished. This is a 6. 3 times what is 6? Because we multiplied them together. It's obvious. It has to be 2. Think about that. If I multiply these together to get that denominator, then this is what the missing factor is. It's the other number. So that's times 2 times 2. This is 2 6. If I were adding, this would be easy, but then I would have an improper fraction, which makes that complicated. In this case, I can't subtract 3 from 2. So I'm going to have to borrow. I'm going to take one of these pies, that'll leave me one whole pie here, and add it to the 2 6. Remember how to do that? It's 1 times 6 plus 2, which is 8 6. You can think of it as a whole pie, which is 6 out of 6, and then you're going to add in the other 2 pieces. The short way to do it is to go 1 times 6 plus 2. I'd like you to understand what you're doing, and then you go ahead and subtract. What's 1 take away 1? Nothing. What's 8 6 minus 3 6? So you have pies, they're cut into 6. You have 8 pieces, and then 3 people are coming over to eat. How many pieces will be left? How many pieces, George? How many pieces will be left? 8 take away 3 is 5 6. Okay? So now we're going to do the calculator. And it makes a difference to me which one you use. Whoops. We're going to put this one on our calculator. And you may have to be here. And I always go to a new document. So I'm going to do that one. That would be so nice when it's on the iPad because you'll do exactly what I did. You just touch it over here. Okay, so Casey's going to help me here. I'm going to copy the problem down. And I'm going to use parentheses on both. Then I'm not going to have any trouble. Now it's 2 1/3. Is it coming working at all? Remember, when you update to a new operating system, sometimes you have problems. So it's 2 and is a plus 1/3. I'm lazy. I'm just going to do 1 divided by 3. And then close my parentheses. And then I'm going to subtract. Then I'm going to subtract 1 1/2. Now, what I would like you to do is be able to estimate what you're going to have left. 1 plus 1 divided by 2. If you don't put those parentheses in, you will not get the right answers. And then press enter. And I don't even have to do the proper fractions because I'm subtracting. It's not going to be an improper fraction. Now, it doesn't have the parentheses here because they're really not necessary. They are necessary here. But then you forget, well, when's it necessary, when's it not? It's not wrong to put them in. Do you want to do the next one together on the calculator or by hand? Or neither? Or do we need to spend more time on this one? And I'm going to take a picture of this. And no, that's not going to work. Oh, there it is. And there it is. I want to make it small, though. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. Do you want to try another one together by hand or on the calculator? Josh, do you know how to do this? Let's do the next one. 4 1/3 minus 1 1/4. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of space. So it's 4 1/3 minus 1 1/4. Am I going to have to borrow? Which is bigger? Think for a moment. Quarter of a pie or a third of a pie? A third is bigger. I don't have to borrow. Yay. So this one's easier. Now, what's the denominator going to be? George, what will the denominator be? You need to be focused here. I have a 3 and a 4. We're multiplying to get denominators. So what do they both divide into? 12. Okay, Josh? How am I going to change that? 4 times what is 12, Josh? No, that's too big. That's 16. Smaller. 3. Because remember, George just multiplied these two numbers together. So the number that's missing here is that number that we multiplied by. So what number did we multiply by with the 3 to get 12? It's down here. So what are we going to multiply the top one by? 3 times what? 4. Okay. Now just be careful because I did two problems at once. I'll multiply this numerator by 4. And I'm going to get what up in the numerator? 4. And then this one was times 3. So this will be 3, and then remember we're subtracting. Always do your fractions first when you subtract, just to make sure that you borrow when you need to. Can I take away 3 from 4? Could I do that? Sure. How much is that? 1. 1 out of 12. What's 4 take away 1? 3. We go through the process with the calculator again. Maybe I'll just write it down. So it's 4 1/3 minus 1 1/4. Should we do it wrong without the parentheses so you can see that you're not going to get the right answer? Yes. I think I did it right. 4 take away 1 is 3, and I didn't have to borrow. I have to borrow on this next problem? 3/4 minus a third. And, you know, if you don't know, draw the picture. 3/4 of a pie would be that, and 1/3 of a pie would be that. So if I wanted to shade this, this is what I have when I have 3/4 of a pie. 1/3 of a pie is this. Am I going to have to borrow? Which is bigger, 3/4 or 1/3? 3/4 is bigger. So I'm not going to have to borrow there either. The only problem is the borrowing. I think these are the hardest ones to do. Okay, let's see if I can get my calculator here without going back. Nope. So you guys get your calculator screen out there and try to get it in while you're waiting for me. Don't just sit there. I'm not going to clear that screen because you're probably not either. You could just add a page. Well, let's do that. Well, but on the gray ones, I'm not sure where adding the page is. It changed. On the black ones, you just do this, your control key, and then the document adds a page, and we're going to add a calculator. And then if I want to go back to that page, I can. I can go see what I did. That's what's really cool about it. Okay, so I want to do 4 1/3. 4 plus 1 divided by 3. I'm going to make a mistake on purpose. Then I'm going to subtract 1 1/4. Subtract 1 plus 1/4. I'm not going to get the right answer. Can you see it right here? It's going to take 4, take away 1, and it's going to be 1/3 plus 1/4. That's not what we got. Now, I made a mistake. I did it on purpose. But I don't have to rekey that. I can go back up here with the arrow keys, highlight that, and press enter. And now there's two ways I can do it. Let's just put parentheses around it. I think that's the easiest since we haven't done order of operations. We haven't done distributive. Now, it automatically sees the parentheses there. I don't even have to enter it. 4 1/3 minus 1 1/4. Oh, okay. Oops. 37/12. I am going to have to do that proper fraction. So, Zach, you're going to have to put that in. So, it's under number. Glad we did this. I didn't realize it was going to do that. Fraction tools. Proper fraction. And then I'm just going to go up, grab that. I could actually grab this. Where is it? That one. Press enter. It'll take that and put it right in there. And press enter. There it is, 3 1/12. It is not a touch screen, but you don't have to click it. You can actually slide it on these little guys. Okay, so that's what I have you work on. I'm going to come around and help you. You may use the calculator, but you do want to get a mixed number. So you either learn how to do it by hand, or you do it on the calculator. For anybody at school, is you not working for anybody? Do all the rest of you have your files? Well, you have a hard copy, so you can work on that.